As we all know, clone troopers are expensive. They are. The supply does not meet the demand, and many of these just cost a lot of money. Take this guy, for instance. You used to be able to get these guys for, they retailed for like $8-9 a pop, and then after a while they kind of went up to 15. Now what you're looking at here will cost you about $80 on eBay. It's wild. It's a wild world we live in. However, this guy got disqualified from the list because pretty much every figure that I'm about to show you, I have seen sell either in or out of the box. The first two I have seen only in the box, but the rest is anyone's game. I have seen these figures sell for over $100. So what I'm about to put on this table is well worth over $1,000. I didn't spend that much on these. The most I spent on a single one of these figures was $50, something around there. And it was one of the last ones I needed. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how clone prices have absolutely gone insane. Patreon Clone Commander, very funny name, Commander Fox Did Nothing Wrong, requested this video. And let's just get into it, man. Let's just get into it. So honorable mention here, Phase 2 Clone Armor figure. I have seen that sell in the package for around $80, out of the package around $60. There are many clone troopers that hover around this price. This is not 10, these aren't the 10 most expensive. These are 10 of the most expensive. These are just the ones that I found going for the craziest money in certain situations. You can find them cheaper. I hope you do. Let's start off with one that you should be able to find cheaper. Commander Jet, surprisingly, in the package, has sold for over $100 in certain instances. Mine is a loose sample that is not in the most perfect shape, but I don't really care too much. Loose, I doubt you would be spending over $100. But still, mint in the package, this is a figure that is valued at over $100. He is not a cheap clone to get. And I can see why. He's a cool clone. Look at his design. Look at his design. He's Geonosis camo. He's got some cool orange, some antenna. He's a cool looking clone, and we only saw him once. So I see the demand for him. I just, man, I would never spend this kind of money on these clone figures. I would never. So there's Jet. And keep in mind, I'm not like a financial analyst. I'm not going to be telling you exact prices and averages and all that. These are kind of general ideas of how much these things are worth. Next up, I have seen this guy sell out of the package for around $80 and in the package for over $100. Another Clone Wars commander. It's Commander Bly. Bly is a very cool one. He is one of my personal favorite clone commanders. I see why his Clone Wars figure is very highly sought after. However, $100, man. If you're an inbox collector, I see the difference of the value, I guess. But some of these, I almost feel like in or out of the box kind of stops to matter after a while. It's wild. It is wild. So, let's just say he's hovering close to around $100 too. Crazy world. Crazy world. Alright. Who to pick next? Let's pick this one, because I've noticed he hasn't been as rare and desirable recently because there is a new one. But still, if it is in the package or complete with all of the gear, I have seen the old Vintage Collection Fordo sell for around $100. What? Dude, I got like 3 of these for $5 at Tuesday Morning 10 years ago. It is a wild world we're living in. It is crazy. Even though it is actually a figure that I overpaid for, one of my first samples of it, spent around $25 because I needed it immediately. Very rare I ever do that. But with Captain Fordo, I needed it. It's one of my favorite clone figures of all time. I see why the value is there. However, I would, like I said, and I'm going to say this many times, I would never spend this kind of money on clones. I personally would not. All right. So we're just going to get into a whole chain of them that is no surprise to anybody. And before I even bring them out, yes, they're yellowing. It breaks my heart. I have had these ever since they released. Time is a cruel mistress. My Clone Wars ARC Troopers are yellowing. This is bad. I have decided to just give up. I will be repainting the crotches on a lot of these old Clone Wars figures at some point. I just need to find a good match. I've given up. These are for my own personal collection. I'm never going to be selling these. These are mine. These mean a lot to me. I'm not worried too much. I'll be able to get them looking nice eventually. I'm just going to have to paint over them. I give up. So, let's not talk about the yellowing anymore. This is the red ARC Trooper. This is like the concept for Commander Colt. I've seen him sell for over $100 on his own. I decided to not cluster together the entire ARC Trooper battle pack because not all of those figures are worth over $100. Captain Rex is not. The Captain Fordo lookalike, which is basically Captain Fordo, is not. However, these guys are. So I would say he's kind of the cheapest. And then continuing, because he was released single-carded, I've noticed that Commander Colt himself is on the cheaper side at around like $120-ish. And with these, it doesn't matter if they're in or out of the box. I mean, it does. They'll be more expensive. They'll be more expensive in the box. But Commander Colt here, I have seen it for, $120 out of the box. Sell. Insane. I think I spent around $20 on it back in the day. The ARC Trooper Battle Pack, the whole set, I spent $30 on when it came out, and I thought I was overpaying. So let's take a little break away from the ARC Trooper pack, and let's go into Defend Camino. So the 5s and Echo from the Defend Camino set, they are worth like $120 together. I've seen them sell for that. But Blitz there, he's, again, a little over $100 on his own. Blitz is the one that everyone wants. I don't get it. But I do get it. But also, man, it is wild how expensive these clones can get. So, let's just finish it. We know it's predictable, even though this is one of, the most expensive in this list. The most expensive one, I've noticed, is Havoc, my personal favorite. Notice how I've strategically posed his arms so you see less of his yellowing. At least they're not like really yellow yet, but they're going off. So Havoc there, good old Havoc, I have seen sell for close to $200 out of the package. Wow. Wow. It's insane to me how much these clones are worth. This list is kind of predictable. Yes, it's kind of predictable. I don't know if you're familiar with some of the rarest clones. If you are, most of these are not a surprise to you. There's many clones that are like hovering around $100. Jet and Bly were just the ones I consistently saw the most. There's so many, but I feel like when it comes to the ones that are over $100, it's pretty consistent that like it's these ARC Troopers and it's some of the other ones you're about to see. This guy, forgive him for not holding a gun. It fell off when I picked him off the shelf and I wasn't bothered. Almost forgot this guy, but then I remembered him. The 501st Jet Trooper. I'm hoping we get a Gaming Greats Vintage Collection one so people can army build this kind of guy. But when it comes to this animated interpretation, we are not getting it ever again. They're never going to re-release these. This guy, out of the package, $100. In the package, $200. In the package, this single action figure is worth $200. And keep in mind, it retailed for under $10. And also keep in mind, it wasn't released in the United States. So this also does show you that the United States does have a pretty significant influence on the availability of figures in the entire collector market space. Because if it was released in the US, because I think that whole release was thrown off because Disney bought the brand and they just kind of decided to shut down what was already going on and decided to redo things, which was lovely. Yeah, I guess that's a big influence. I ended up getting it by buying a figure for like $20 and then trading it with someone, I believe, in France. And most of the listings I see on eBay for it are from France. So that's a nice one. Ah, man. Let's get these ARC Troopers tucked in the back, because the last two entries, I'm kind of cheating, because they're 2-packs. However, the 2-packs, like, even if you split the cost of the 2-packs 50-50, they still, in my opinion, top this list. Alright, so... Ah, man. These figures aren't even, like, I think it was just because of the scarcity of these comic packs when they were released. They were so hard to get. I actually found this in store. However, I guess I was a lucky one. It is the Routine Valor comic pack. It's the clone lieutenant from the 212th and just a standard 212th trooper. I believe this trooper is the one that's not as nearly expensive. I don't think this guy's going to cost you more than those ARC troopers and everything. And I don't feel like this lieutenant on his own. I feel like this lieutenant on his own, I don't think it would be about $200 like Havoc is. However, combined in the package, I've seen this sell for $400 plus. Out of the package, you're probably looking at 2, 3 maybe. Just guesses on that. Insane. Insane that these two little 212 troopers that I bought at Walmart before I had a trip to my grandmother's house is now worth that much money. But they are. They are. Let me move these off to the side. If you don't know what number one's going to be, you must not have seen too many videos on my channel quite yet, because I've discussed these being the rarest clones in the past, and it turns out they are still the most expensive. They beat the ARC Troopers. They beat Rancor Battalion. Just both of these, out of the package, I have seen sell between, because there's always like best offer accepted, all that. You can never get an exact number. I'm just going to kind of put in a guess that I've seen this 2-pack sell out of the package for $500,000. Bogey Squad. It's just a couple Kashyyyk troopers. It's just a Kashyyyk trooper. It's just Commander Apo with green camo on him. $500,000. $500,000. That's what it has sold for. Yeah. It's wild. It is so wild that these little plastic people sell for that much. I have seen the trooper sell for under 100 on his own, so it's not like these are completely unobtainable. I myself, I would not own these two without my YouTube channel, without people reaching out saying, hey, I love your content. I know you need these. Let me help you out. I wouldn't have them. I bought them from two separate people. One of them is a patron of the channel, ODST. Thank you very much for helping me out with him. Thank you so much. It's remarkable to me that these little clones are worth that much. I mean, like I said, what you're seeing on this table is worth, if I were to list it right now, I would just be like, rarest clone trooper figures ever. You know, buy it now on eBay, $2,000. Someone might buy it. Someone might just say, you know what, I'll just do it. I'll just go for it. I'll buy it. You know, it's insane. It's insane to me how much these figures are worth. Insane. I want to take a little moment here to discuss the craziness of the prices on these clones. So, like I said, I never spent that kind of money on figures like this. I never did. I never intended to. I never intend to. I personally, like I said, the most I ever spent, the two in the middle cost me about $50 each. Then the next would probably be Colt. He was around like 25-ish, 30-ish. I think Fordo was around the same. I got the ARC Trooper pack for $30. I got the Defend Camino pack for retail. I got him for about $20. I got them in retail for around $15. I think he was around $10. He was around $15. I got him in a trade with Rabbit Hammer, but I got the others at retail. Like I said, I got him for originally $25, but I also got others later for like $5 each. I mean, number one, it pays to have friends, because it was awesome doing that trade with Rabbit Hammer. I traded him some pretty hard to find repaints of some certain DC UC figures, and he traded me some Clone Wars stuff. When I did that trade, by the way, he was not worth $80. Believe me, I didn't want to scam him. The price has gone up even more since I did that trade. It's insane. It's remarkable to me how much his stuff is worth. Rust Belt Collector, he spent a pretty penny on his Bogey Squad pack, but that's nothing compared to what it goes for now. Like I said, I do not recommend spending that kind of crazy money on these little tiny plastic clone figures. I don't. If you're going to be dropping 200 plus on an action figure, do yourself a favor, get a Hot Toys. They are mind-blowing when it comes to the quality, the size, the detail. You get your $200 worth. With these, you are not paying $200 for the figure, you're paying $200 for the fact that it is rare, and the figure itself is worth like 10 bucks, dude. Come on, man. These cost pennies on the dollar for Hasbro to produce. They ain't gold. They ain't diamonds. They're not. They're little plastic space soldier men with colorful armor. At the end of the day, that's what they are. And I don't recommend spending this kind of money. Some people have said that my videos have an influence on the market, and I would like to hope that they do not. Because, oh man, I don't want these getting even more expensive. I don't want people to see this video and think, no, oh, now I can sell mine for this much. No, I'm just saying what I've seen it sell for, and even then, the numbers aren't 100% accurate. This is not a financial advice video. This is not an investing video. This is just giving you guys an idea that all this stuff you see on the table is worth over $1,000. These little plastic figures here, you could, well, maybe a few years ago, not really nowadays, you know, you could have maybe got yourself a half-decent used car that would last you a couple years with all these clones. Nowadays, with the car market, I've been looking for a new car. Not fun. I can't really make that comparison nowadays. But at the very least, dude, it's a mortgage payment. What you're looking at here is a mortgage payment of clones, if not more. It's insane to me how much these little plastic guys are worth. This table, what you're seeing on this table, is rent for people for a month or two, if not more. I can't believe how much these have gone up in price, because the prices weren't like this years ago, man. It wasn't. And at the end of the day, it's down to the supply and demand. People love clone troopers. Look at these characters here: 212, 41st Elite, ARC Troopers, 501st. You know, look at these characters. People want these, especially the ARC Troopers. Rain Corps Battalion is one of the coolest groups of clones. And we have a new mold of ARC Trooper out now. If they make Rain Corps Battalion, it's going to sell like hotcakes. It's going to sell like hotcakes instantly, like crazy. Sold out in an instant, and they need to make 1 million of them just to meet the demand. Man, I'm kind of lost for words. Looking at these clones, I'm lost for words. Do I look at these and see money signs? No. I look at these and see, in some instances, childhood toys, you know? Like I said, I got that 212th comic pack before I went to see my grandmother. I got Captain Fordo back there at Tuesday morning for $5 when I was 13. I was a kid. I got the Rain Corps Battalion ARC Trooper Battle Pack, $30 off of rebelscum.com back in around 2010. I would have been around 11 years old. Yeah, I was a kid buying this stuff. The ones that I got most recently were the Bogey Squad 41st Elite. Like I said, I spent some big boy money on that, but to me, you know, $50 for a little 3 3/4 inch figure, that's the most I've ever spent on 3 3/4 inch figures right there, and that's the most I ever want to spend. Do I regret spending that? Not at all. I look at them, and honestly, out of all the figures on this table, I think they're my favorite. I love the 41st Elite, and I love the camouflage. I wish you guys the best. If you're clone trooper collectors, if you're like me and you want to have a very nice, complete, comprehensive collection and have all the characters and have all the different armors and trooper types, I wish you luck, because it's not easy out there. It's not. The demand is so high and the supply is so low because kids and adults and young adults, they want clones. Because clones are one of, if not the most toyetic thing about Star Wars. I mean, look at them. They are a standard armor. You can just give different colors, give some different armor, maybe a different helmet. Completely transforms it. You can print money with clone troopers. You can just take the same figure and give it different colors over and over and over and over again, and people will eat it up and not complain. There's some people that don't like it, obviously, and I don't blame you. You know, I don't. But Kids eat it up. I ate it up. Ever since I was a kid, I ate it up. I saw all those Attack of the Clones troopers. I'm like, oh, there's a green and a red and a blue and a yellow. I love them. They're great. It's such an appeal. Colors appeal to us as a species. We love colors. We love colorful things. I love colorful things. I think clone troopers are very colorful and lively, and they're one of the most fun things for me to collect. Because I look at my clone shelves and I just see these, it's like this big splash of orange, then green, then blue, then red. You know, I love all these colors and everything you see. But I don't think these on the table are worth it. They're not worth the crazy money. At the end of the day, they're not. And I would never spend that kind of money on them. Ever. If I didn't have these, I wouldn't. And I just want to end with saying, if you are a clone trooper collector and you want a big comprehensive collection, if you want all the armors, this, that, and the other, I think you shouldn't keep yourself awake at night looking for any of these. You shouldn't. Hopefully Hasbro will come to their senses and release more. Hopefully they'll do, Vintage Collection Bly or the Rancor Battalion ARC Troopers or Gaming Greats Jet Trooper. Hopefully these troopers will be available. However, if you're looking to have all of the figures, old and new, different versions, it's getting to a point where it's almost impossible unless you are very, very well off or you're very, very lucky. I'm in a position of, I don't want to necessarily say authority, but I am in a position of privilege running a channel that is largely dedicated to 3 3/4 inch clone trooper collecting, where I've been able to get, namely those, as well as people sending me others I didn't have, giving me deals on things. Without my channel, I wouldn't have the Republic Shuttle, the Turbo Tank, the ATTE. Maybe I would, but I wouldn't have the generosity or, I wouldn't have gotten the deals that I did. I am in a position of privilege here. I do have to admit that. I have been lucky. I grew up with these. I was able to get them for retail or maybe slightly over. And now they're worth thousands. And I'm telling you, don't worry about it. I can see why that might offend some people. But if I was in your position, if I didn't have a YouTube channel that I ran for over 10 years talking about these little plastic clone troopers, I wouldn't worry about it, man. I mean, I, personally, 3 3/4 inch clone troopers are my main collection. However, I also have a decent collection of Lego clone troopers. I'm only missing a handful, but I've given up on ever getting all of those. I'll never have Phase 2 Rex, or the Clone Wars Shock Trooper, or the Shadow ARF Trooper. I'm never going to have them. And Lego clones, while I love that collection, it's not the kind of collection that is my priority in my life. And I look at it and I'm satisfied. I don't need it all. I don't need it all. And I think I should take this moment to make a bit of an announcement. For a while, I was looking for every clone trooper figure ever. There's a handful that I just still don't have. A couple really tiny variations. Some of the most prominent ones are the older versions of Delta Squad from the original pack. I haven't been looking for them. For the past few years, I have not been looking for the clone troopers I'm missing. I haven't been. Because I've kind of, it's not like I've given up, but I've just kind of realized having it all isn't important to me. I don't need it all. I went through a phase where I had to get every single new Transformer, every single new clone trooper, every single new everything that I liked. And I scooped it up and I went crazy over it. And I realized it's just not fun. And it's also not financially viable. So making the decision that I don't need it all, I don't need the latest and greatest version. There's so many instances, right above my desk, there's my Pacific Rim collection. I have an old, Wave 1 Gypsy Danger. I don't have the ultimate one that's super cool and all that. I don't need the latest and greatest. I don't need the best version. I don't need it all. And I feel like if you are a toy collector and you see stuff like this, it's super rare and expensive, and you are looking at this video, you've been looking at it for ages now. If you're looking and thinking, oh man, I'd love to have it, just keep in mind, man, Or woman, I don't know. Man's just my figure of speech. Sometimes I say man when I'm talking to like a woman or something, and they're like, huh? And I'm like, sorry. But anyways, a little derailing there. If you're looking at this and you're thinking, man, I'd love to have that. Well, you would love to have it, but you don't need it. I don't need any of my toys. There's some of them that mean a lot to me when it comes to sentimental value that even if I was homeless on the street, I would have in my backpack. Just a handful. But at the end of the day, I don't need it. They're just toys. Don't beat yourself up over looking at this and thinking that you'll never have it. You might have it someday. You might get these. I hope you do. That would be awesome. That would be great. But keep in mind, we don't get everything we want. There's some things that I know I'll never own. There's some things in life that I know I will never be able to achieve, even though I'd love to do it. Maybe someday I can. I like taking these opportunities to get a little deeper in the discussion. Because at the end of the day, I'm not here trying to produce this is an analytical analysis of this, that, and the other. Look at these numbers, blah, blah, blah. Here you go. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, smash that like button, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that kind of channel. This is me sharing my thoughts and my feelings and my passion and my hobby. If I want to talk, I'll keep talking, and I enjoy it, honestly, and I hope you guys enjoy the extra commentary. If you decided not to stay till the end, I don't blame you, because that was a burp, because I ramble, and the longer I talk, the more I ramble. I'm keeping that burp in so you understand that my burps are silent, and they totally halt all of my talking. Just figured I'd let you know. So if you stay till the end of the video, make a mention about why my burps are silent. I cannot belch. I've never belched in my entire life, believe it or not. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any of these. I'm sure some people in the comments will be like, I have them all, and that's awesome. Some people will be like, I have a couple, and that's awesome, Let me know what you have. Let me know what you want. And also, I hope you don't stay awake at night wanting them, because that's unhealthy, and you don't need these. Alrighty, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks again to the patrons at Patreon, as well as Commander Fox Did Nothing Wrong for requesting this video. Alrighty, guys, there we go. I've rambled on for nearly half an hour. I hope it was enjoyable and entertaining for you. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.